We interrupt what you're watching right now to bring you this exciting story.
It's the dust and it's the glory. 100 stripes, 100 stories. It's the pledge of allegiance on the 4th of July. It's some handwritten letters from home. It's some sleepless nights alone. It's his newborn baby he left with his wife. It's red, white, and blue. Lay down, he's alive. Mr. Red, White, and Blue. 40 stars and stripes. Hey. From the fields of Indiana to the swamps of Louisiana to the golden coast of California. Uncle Sam's the only family he's got. His purple heartbeat won't stop. And his 18th birthday was the day he was born. Mr. Red, White, and Blue. Lay down, he's alive. Mr. Red, White, and Blue. 40 stars and stripes. Mr. Red, White, and Blue. Stand on the front line. Mr. Red, White, and Blue. Pay the ultimate price. Oh. He was the man I was when he was born. His family is proud but torn. But if you knew him, you would understand. He was raised on how to be brave, just to see the flags you wave. And then he came home with all he wanted. It's Mr. Red, White, and Blue. Lay down his life. Mr. Red, White, and Blue. All these stars and stripes. Mr. Red, White, and Blue. Stand on this red line. Mr. Red, White, and Blue. To pay the ultimate price. Mr. Red, White, and Blue. Lay down his life. Mr. Red, White, and Blue. For these stars and stripes. Marching line. Marching line. Hey. Hey.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, good evening, Erie County. How are we doing this evening? I'm telling you, today was one of those, one of those almost perfect days. Little heat, little breeze, plenty of sunshine. Trust me, it was go outside, do things. I took Kim's big sign and trailer, took that for a spin. Met Brenda downtown, had the salad bar for lunch. Came home and did our stuff around the house, and it's time to get the show ready. So here we are. It is Wednesday at 8 p.m. If you pay attention to the scrolling marquee, I have my favorite hashtags, and so yeah, we're going to move our Sunday show to 7. The poll came back, and it said, yeah, 7 o'clock. I only had 1 or 2 votes to keep it at 3. So mark your calendars. We are going to definitely be moving the channel over to the evening time. Make it a little nicer, a little easier, so you can do stuff on Sunday and not feel guilty that we're not. Oh yeah, look, we got Nate. Nate's here. Mark's here. Stan's here. Everyone's here. But, yeah, William Seymour, you're here. Thanks for coming in. Lots and lots and lots of stuff going on locally. Man, there's so much stuff and so much winning going on. We took a nap today because we're just getting tired of all this winning. Big court cases. There's another big court case that I just read about Philadelphia. They've been really pushing the rules on their Second Amendment violations. And of course, the violating the Pennsylvania Constitution on our Second Amendment issues, on not allowing Joe Q. citizen to carry a firearm in the open carry position in the city of Philadelphia. Now, I understand Philadelphia should be its own like world and its own country. I totally get it. They have their own laws that do not even apply to, hey, Tim, anywhere in the world. Yeah, that's what Brenda said too. You have a little warble. We did it. We changed microphones. I'm not sure if I'm 100% liking. It's funny. We used a cheap China one that was kind of like a kit. Then we went to a more professional Shure microphone, and that's what Brenda said too. So maybe I will swap out the microphones during a long video. It only takes a second. So get back to Philadelphia. Gun Owners of America sued Philadelphia, and they won. They won because the city required a permit to carry in the open carry position, which is a violation of the Constitution and the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, which that's a big no-no. They won their court case, so guess what? Now, when you're in Philadelphia, you can carry a firearm open carry, just like everybody else in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. I don't know why Philadelphia thinks they're above the Constitution. Oh, I'm sorry, that's right, because they're Democrat controlled. And I don't know, Brenda, I sent you some clip art. It was from Scott Pressler. I don't know if you got, I know you were busy. I don't know if you caught that. It talked about the voter rosters that have been cleansed in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. And we took out a lot of non-voters. And let me ask you this. What city do you think had the most fake registered voters on the rosters? Type in your answers if you think you know. I know it's delayed, so I won't let you sit there very long. Philadelphia. Gee, let me put my shock face on that Philadelphia had the majority of all the not legal voter registrations in the city, Philadelphia. Let me put my shock face on. Can't make this stuff, folks. Oh, folks, I can't. It's there. This came from those numbers came right from Scott Pressler, so you know they're pretty legitimate. Yeah, Philadelphia, you're absolutely right. So yeah, 984 so far. I thought it was more than that, but yeah, I know it was a good, nice chunk of change. But they're like, remember, no widespread cheating. No widespread cheating. Can't. My phone just went wonky. Hi, Mr. Dave. You're live.
I'm live.
You're live now, sir.
Beautiful.
What's going on in the city of Erie?
I was feeling dead with all this heat.
Yeah, it's a little hot. It's been hot.
Oh, I hate this.
Yeah. Do you have
Yeah, there's really not a whole lot going on. It's been fairly quiet. With this heat. I can report on the bank again. My weekly bank report.
That's funny.
Nobody in, nobody out, nobody at the ATM.
What about the new? Didn't they just open up? I saw a ribbon cutting in the city of Erie from Mayor Joe. What was the opening?
Oh yeah, I was gonna give you that one. That's I think that's I don't know if it's a Spanish restaurant or something.
I think it was Indian.
Indian. There you, yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
It was Shish Kebab.
That's
it's
it.
Shish Kebab restaurant. And our illustrious mayor was there with his scissors in hand.
Soon to be former mayor.
I'd like to see him do though. Actually, like I says, I drive around in this pockmarked road city, and boy, I'll tell you what, banging around I'm banging around inside the cab of that truck.
Oh, I know.
It's unbelievable. Why don't he? You know what he should do is get a hold of his streets department. Say, hey, go fix some of these manholes and some of these road cuts. There was just one the other day I ran across. It's a brand new one, fresh road cut, and then they filled it in. They repatched it and everything, and it's horrible. You hit it, almost knocks your teeth out of your mouth.
Oh, I know. I put new tires on the Ford. I have to go get an alignment, but I'm scared about getting an alignment because I'm just like, okay, did I just waste $100?
Right. It'll knock it right out again.
Oh yeah, gotcha. Oh no, I totally get it. And then they've got State Street partially closed. I think it's from like 4th to 5th Street. I drove down there, went around the block to go down to the public dock. I refuse to call it Dobbins Landing because that's dumb.
So that's closed off then,
yeah.
huh?
Yep. That's closed off.
That's right in front of Natalie's joint.
Yes. I think he's on vacation anyway, so you're just listening to reruns.
Yeah, I'm not listening. I don't even. I listen a little bit, but not that much.
No, I only listen when Brenton Davis is on.
Yeah, well, he's on. I don't know. He's on once a week.
Yes, he has his
show. Yeah, his
Thursday,
1 hour, half hour, is it?
Thursday mornings at 8:30, I believe.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
But
I'd like to see Joe get a hold of the streets department, and whenever they patch a hole or a manhole, do the proper job, get all the news media and have Joe there with a ribbon and cut the ribbon over that manhole or that street cut. If it's done properly.
Well, maybe some folks from the bank and the new shish kebab can come down and we can have a little grill or tailgate party on Dave's truck.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
Yeah, I got a pretty good sound system. We can have a little street party.
Yeah, have some have the streets department there with the patching material truck. It's just unbelievable.
Everybody can take or sponsor a shovel full of patch. You pay little donation, and they give you a shovel full, and you can symbolically throw it in the hole.
Yeah, just like they have the that's what Joe does too. He not only does ribbon cutting, he does groundbreaking. So this would be a ground filling.
Hashtag make Erie great again.
Well, I don't know if that's gonna ever come, but
yeah, at least
I can't think of anything else that's going on there.
I drove by your house the other day, and I saw a cop car sitting at the gas station right next to you.
Oh, they've been you mean across the street?
No, at the gas station there was a Erie PD cruiser.
Oh, okay. Well, there was something going on there then. Well, they were at the bar down the street Saturday night, going into Sunday morning.
I know. I saw.
Yeah, the big. I don't think I sent you that video, did I?
Yeah, you did. Yeah,
Or did I? Yeah,
you
that
did.
was the big birthday party.
Yeah.
And they showed up a little bit late after the crowd was somewhat dispersed.
Right.
But yeah, then the other day, I don't think I think I sent you that video with when I was. Yeah, I don't remember when it was, but I just got in my truck and I was starting to go somewhere, and I seen all these cop cars going down the street, so I followed them.
Uh-oh. News
Followed them
reporter.
out to East 6th Street. I believe I sent you that video.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
East 6th Street, just a little bit east of the Bayfront Highway. The boys had AR-15s out,
Oh, Jesus.
pointing at the house.
Oh.
I don't know whatever came of it because there was nothing in the news.
I'm telling you, they're taking this cut your grass thing pretty serious in this city. You know
Oh, yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't cut your grass. We'll send the SWAT team out.
And another thing I can't understand is the garbage department.
Uh-oh.
Another complaint. Now I know that if you have a large item, you have to call in for the pickup.
Okay.
You have to make an appointment, and they'll come and they'll pick up that large item or whatever it is. Well, real close to me, there's been a box spring that's been out on the street. Cars have run over it already. It's not all the way out on the street, but it's like on the curb, by the curb. And it's been there for almost a month. And they'll put the garbage out right by that box spring, but the garbage department will not pick that box spring up. Now these morons, I know, they never called for the large item pickup because they're probably too busy, going to the bar or whatever they're doing. But you would think this thing it's not like a queen size box spring. It's a fairly small box spring.
Right.
But now that the cars have hit it a couple of times, the wood is sort of scattered a little bit.
Yeah.
Take an Erie grade again, and
again.
you would think they'd just take it, throw it in the truck, and it'd be done with it. It's been there for a month.
Well, yeah, there's probably a rule because they didn't officially call to have it picked up. They're not allowed. Must be a.
They're not allowed. Right.
I'm just.
That's sort of ridiculous in a way.
Welcome to the city of Erie.
When it's been there for a month, but then the kicker is they have this deal going where they're supposed to be going around and issuing warnings for garbage out in front of your property. I don't know if these people ever received the warning. It's been there for a month, and I think you have 2 weeks to get rid of it if a warning was issued.
Yeah, that sounds right.
And then if it's not removed in 2 weeks, the city will remove it and then charge you $1,400, I believe.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Well, apparently there's no warnings been issued because the city would have removed it and charged the landlord $1,400.
Well, that's the only thing that's going to get their attention.
Well, apparently the city's, I don't know. I'm on a major now. Here's the kicker. What if I took that mattress to State Street and put it in right in the same position that it is here? It's up against the curb, but it's actually in the street. If you know what I'm talking about, it's in a parking lane. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, that would. Yeah, the Erie, the Erie PD might say it and say, "Hey, we have a road hazard."
Well, apparently they don't figure it's a road hazard over here, and it's the main drag over here. I mean, this is a Renaissance district. Bishop Brock's Renaissance District, you would think that would take priority, wouldn't you think?
Have you called Brock on this?
No, I haven't called him yet. I think he's too busy with his gym.
I call Brock. I'm telling you, he'll bring out the Hortons and have a whole to do about it.
Yeah, it might be a good idea. Get a hold of Brock and say, "Hey, we have a problem down here in the Renaissance District."
Yeah.
After all, we're trying to clean this place up. We're building banks, having restaurants, and
yeah, but the car wash and the car wash, ice cream shop, that's all nice and neat. I always see a guy walking around picking up all the stuff. I think he's done a good job there. It looks good.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Krauses, they're doing pretty good.
Oh yeah, Kalashevsky guys. They're all Harbor Creek guys.
Real Harbor Creek boys, yeah.
Went to Harbor Creek with them.
I went to grade school with the members of the family.
Yeah, big family.
Back in the day.
You met one. They all look alike, and
Oh, yeah.
and they are all related.
Novoshelskis.
Kalashevsky.
No, Novoshelskis.
Novoshelskis. Right. Sorry.
No, not yeah. You got to be Polish to know how to
I know.
pronounce the Polish name.
I apologize.
Yeah, Novoshelski.
Yeah, I'm just.
Anyways, I don't have much more.
Well, we always appreciate your call and your updates, and my on the street reporter from the inner city.
Yeah. One more thing. Real quick. I remember back in the day, and there was something. Oh, they were all complaining about. I'm sure there was people in Erie complaining about Donald Trump's military, military show that he had on about a week ago or so.
Right.
I remember back in the day, National Guard Armory down here on 6th and Parade.
At Sherman tanks.
Sherman tanks. If I'm not mistaken, he had a couple howitzers in the back. Because I was a kid, I used to go down there and look over the fence,
Yep.
look at them.
Oh yeah.
Look at them.
I think you're correct.
I'm sure there'd be a bunch of people. Imagine them there today.
They would be protesting in the streets.
They'd be right down there protesting.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. The big military might of Erie, PA.
Yeah. Weapons of war.
Yeah. Yeah, they
I
were
call them
Shermans.
weapons of peace.
Yeah. Strength through peace. Remember that.
Weapons of freedom.
Freedom bullets.
Yeah. Well, anyways, have a good one. That's about all I got to report here on Lower East Side.
I appreciate it, man. Brendan's going to play a long video, and I'm going to change microphones out real quick.
All right.
Thanks, Dave.
Bye.
Yeah, Brendan, go ahead and play that video. I'll turn the camera off. I'll switch out microphones since it's acting wonky.
Huge news out of the city of Philadelphia and the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. A major appeals court in that Commonwealth has just found that a gun control law in the city of Philadelphia, as it applies to the open carry of firearms, is unconstitutional under the 14th Amendment. Let's break it down. All right, guys, great news out of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. A major appeals court in the state of Pennsylvania, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, has just ruled that a gun control law, as applied to an individual who was arrested and convicted of the open carrying of a handgun, that the law, as applied to him, violated the 14th Amendment's Equal Protection Clause because it improperly discriminated between individuals walking the streets in the city of Philadelphia as opposed to walking the streets anywhere else in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Specifically, there are special laws in the city of Pennsylvania that prohibit the open carrying of firearms that are not applicable outside of the city of Philadelphia. And this appeals court in the case of Commonwealth of Pennsylvania versus Sumter just found that that violates the equal protection rights of Mr. Sumter. And his conviction for the open carrying of a handgun in the city of Philadelphia violated the equal protection laws, or the equal protection clause. Why? Because had he been carrying that same handgun in the same way anywhere else in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, he could not have been found guilty. And therefore, that discrimination between him being in Philadelphia versus anywhere else in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania gave rise to an equal protection claim and a absolute defense to his criminal conviction for the open carrying of a handgun. Specifically, here's what the appeals court in Pennsylvania had to say in dismissing this charge against Mr. Sumter. In light of the foregoing, we, the court, conclude that this particular law is unconstitutional on an equal protection basis as applied to the appellant, Mr. Sumter. The right to keep and bear arms outside the home is a fundamental right protected by the Second Amendment. Section 6108 requires persons who wish to openly carry a firearm on public streets and public property in Philadelphia to obtain a carry license. Open carry without a license is lawful, though, for those 18 years of age and older elsewhere in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, but it is criminal in Philadelphia. Thus, this particular law places persons within the city of Philadelphia at a special disadvantage in the exercise of the Second Amendment right. The Commonwealth of Pennsylvania has failed to articulate a compelling interest in support of this law, and Section 6108 fails to pass strict scrutiny and is therefore unconstitutional under the Equal Protection Clause. Now, the reason why this case popped up is because Mr. Sumter was seen carrying a handgun in.
Well, like I said, isn't that amazing? Can you guys hear me better? Like I said, I bought a new microphone. I didn't really get a chance to take it for a test spin per se. So they're very simple to change out. They're all standard and pretty quick. So if you guys can hear me better, just type in the room. I appreciate that. Like I said, it's just real quirky. Now I hear myself, so that tells me that might be a restream issue. It's a computer-based program. So yeah.
Yeah, that one is actually sounding the same way for some reason.
No kidding. Huh. Any better? Any worse? Yep. Dave says sounds good. But all right, Kim, you're live.
Well, you sound much better, Brian.
Okay, thanks. Like I said, it's funny. I bought an expensive microphone and it was acting wonky. The cheaper China one sounds better. So I might just
Isn't that the way it always ends up being?
Hi, Glenda.
Well, wasn't it a beautiful day? And thank you so much for taking the trailer out today. I appreciate you.
It was a gorgeous day. It wasn't too hot, because if it's too hot, I don't like running the car and the trailer sitting in traffic. They get hot real fast, and got to take care of the old girl. She's not brand new.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking about what Dave said about these roads. I think the roads are in worse condition this year than any other year. And I noticed that a lot of this is the water authorities tearing up these roads. And I understand they have to do that. I understand. But if they would just let the roads department know, then they could coordinate.
You're a silly girl.
That makes too much sense.
Yeah, that's silly.
And then the roads department, if they would switch to super pave, they wouldn't have to go back and do that road for 20 or 30 years.
Yeah. Oh, there's got to be a reason they're not doing it, because I don't know. Yeah.
Well, because, I don't know. Because maybe they want to do the same roads over and over again. But I'm telling you what, my poor Jeep, Brian, every time I'm going over a bump, I feel like I'm losing a part of her.
Well, it's possible.
Yeah. Because, they're just awful. And Cherry and Liberty are so bad. So today I thought, okay, I'm going to take a different side street. Instead of going down Liberty, went to go down another side street. It's closed because they're fixing the pipes.
Yeah, it's like, getting a facelift, but you have a bad tooth. If you don't fix the tooth, what's the point in getting a facelift? But hey, what do I know? I don't know. Well, the guys
you've already had too many, and you're going to end up looking like Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah, gotcha.
So the other thing, like Dave was talking about this garbage and everything, but then, you've got Christine Vogel, and she's working on a committee to give us better curb appeal.
Yeah, that's important.
That's real important. You got Brenton Davis, who's working on giving people a home,
right?
A tiny home,
right? Building houses,
something they can actually live in.
Yeah,
and at the same time teaching kids a trade. And then you got this woman out there. We need to work on curb appeal. Okay.
We're not making pizzas here, folks. We're running a county. So yeah.
Right. Okay. So you're going to have nice looking curbs that go up to what? An ugly ass, old ass house. And you're going to have a road that can't even get you to the curb.
Right. And here's the kick in the teeth. The county government has nothing to do with that stuff. People, when I was on council, are like, well, you guys need to fix Nagel Road. Well, first of all, that's not a county road. It belongs to the township. Yeah, but you're in charge. No, I am not in charge of the three great supervisors we have out here. They are in charge of the roads. Now, the only thing it varies is if, like, you go out Route 20. That's a state highway. They're responsible for that. Erie County does not have any control or maintenance or plowing or anything of any road in Erie County. Now, you go to a different county, sometimes that's different. They do have a county road that they're responsible for. But yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to be mean, but yeah, but it's just what the Democrats, they have nothing They have nothing in their bags of tricks. They have played every trick they have, and they've got nothing. So we'll worry about curb appeal. Well, okay, fine.
Right.
That's nice if the roads are fixed and the water systems are working great. Yeah, then we can worry about that foo-foo crap.
And if the curb is not in front of a house that is marked for demolition.
No, I get it. It's just curb appeal. I mean, like I said,
Right.
this is Kathy Dalcamper's pulling the strings on this. So
Well,
what
and that's
do you
the other
expect?
thing. Are you actually voting for Vogel, or is a vote for Vogel vote for Dahlkamper, because she's basically going to be running the office?
Yeah.
You know,
No,
that's my question.
I totally get it.
And so much gaslighting. Now, I want to know why these people were allowed to protest in the Capitol building about the Iran bombing, but they were not arrested like the January 6ers.
Well, yeah, because this is us and them. So there was a big to do about that, and I think just a small correction what you said. It was about the legislation they're trying to do with
Oh,
Trump's.
you're right. You're right. You're right.
Great big new deal. I don't want to
Yeah.
correct you, but someone's gonna think, well, there she is screwing her facts again.
Yeah, you're right. I got that confused
That's
because I
okay.
watched
It's hard.
another
Oh
one
yeah.
where they are protesting. There was actually people in the streets carrying Iranian flags. And that just got me so hot and bothered, like you can't believe.
It's just whatever this week's thing to be mad about. The Democrats, okay, folks, let's have a meeting. What can we be offended by this week? Okay, Biff, what's your ideas? Steve, what's your idea? They do well. Let's now they're chanting, "Keep your hands off Iran." Well, we didn't actually put our hands on Iran. We just dropped them a little payload.
A little gift.
Yeah.
Which I'm wondering how many people listened. And this is great. The town hall with Dave McCormick. And I asked him about that. And he and Fetterman, this is great, a Democrat. A lot of these Democrats are actually thrilled about what Trump did by putting those bombs down on Iran. They are thrilled to death.
Well, right, because there's some good mojo going on when you can get a new conservative, Dave McCormick and John Fetterman to agree on something. That's like the Democrats are like boo hoo, boo hoo, boo hoo. No, these are bad hombre, and we're gonna wait till we talk about New York. This crazy crap in New York. We'll get to that after I'm done with you.
I saw that primary result. Oh my Lord!
But did you now see here? I'm gonna weave this into our conversation because it's so important of everything we've been talking about. They had a 9% turnout rate. People, that's how they got this clown in there. Is nobody got out and voted, so they rallied their base, their little Muslim following base, to get out and vote. 9% turnout rate. Now there is a Republican that got the nomination, so it's not. And then Adams, I think he left the Democrats and became an independent. So this isn't over. I mean, it's just like
he was on Fox News, Brian. Yeah. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, he's an independent now, and so this isn't over. We have a Republican. I forget his name. He was the founder of the Guardian Angels, the guys with the berets that walk the streets at night. That's the guy that founded this. Is running as a Republican, and
wonderful. Yeah. And people do not want to defund the police in New York City. Oh my God.
Yeah. I've got if Brenda has a second, she can put the clip art up. I have a clip art, and it gives you a listing of everything he wants to do. Now, of course, typical Democrat, he's promising these people the world. He can't even do it as the mayor because it violates a state law. They have to get with the state legislators to change the laws to give them this one blows my mind. He goes, this is what we're going to do. We are going to get rid of the grocery stores. The city is going to run the grocery stores. That way they don't have to pay taxes. They can keep their costs down. Yeah. Okay. But then, you got to hire, you got to rent the buildings. You still got to buy the food, so this guy is just absolutely out of control, and it's all bullshit. I know it. Everybody else knows it. I just hope that the people of New York get it together and get off their lazy backsides. Like I always say, put the cheese ball down and shut off Netflix and get out and vote.
Get out and vote or fill in your mail-in ballot and stick it in the mail.
I'm assuming they do. I don't know if New York does or not. I'm assuming.
I'm assuming they do, or they probably have the early mail-in or the early in-person voting like we do, any way that they can win, which I'm so glad that you brought this up because they said a lot of things he's promising he cannot do as a mayor, but he can do as an assemblyman. So if he could do it, he'd be doing it now.
Oh, absolutely. And this was a post that I found on social media. Now, if you go to the pictures in the right middle one, that's him fighting with the cops. He hates cops, wants to fund the cops, get rid of the cops, hire social workers, stop ICE, just he's going to city-owned grocery stores, rent freeze. He's going to, I don't know how you can pass a law and say, if I own a building and I have 5 units and I have to make, I'm just picking $5,000 a month to make my mortgage, how can he say, no, you can't raise it? I don't get state or federal money. How can you tell me? Yeah.
Sounds like Russia.
Well, he's a socialist.
Yeah,
he is.
Exactly.
He has no problem. And anybody that stands with his fist in the air with AOC is a bad bet. Bad bet.
Bad person.
Bad. He is bad. Nothing but a socialist. I just pray, that the people of New York actually get off their backsides and vote this clown out. They're making it like he's the new king of New York, and all he did was win his primary. That's it. And yeah, it's a Democrat, and the numbers say he should, but I don't know. I just pray that New York.
I don't think he will. I think he's just gone too left.
No, I can't. Yeah, I can't say.
And it's like I say, I see God making miracles all the time. Since he saved President Trump from the assassination, I'm seeing miracles all the time. I think God, I truly in my heart think God's going to save us. I mean, look at what happened in Iran. Iran and Israel are not fighting right now, So I truly believe that God's on our side to save us right now, Brian.
There's some good mojo going on. Trump won his court case about the deportation. Now he can deport, no problem. We want a smaller deal here in Pennsylvania with the open carry thing. That was the same argument we fought the city of Erie with, saying that we can't open carry in a city park, which you can. That went to
flashback.
Yeah. So, that only went to the Pennsylvania court system, and they overturned the city ordinance violation. Right. So yeah, I get it. I commend and if you folks are truly Second Amendment folks and you want it, Gun Owners of America, I'm a proud member of them. They have local representation here. I've been on their show when I ran for sheriff. Great people fighting the fight, and you know what? They have a really good winning rate. They really do, because
Absolutely.
The Constitution is there, people.
Absolutely. And I just want to remind everybody, we got not this weekend, the following weekend, we've got that great 4th of July parade coming up. So anybody that wants to come out and participate with us, we would really enjoy your presence.
Walkers.
We're going to have a lot of fun. Lawrence Park, line up between 12:30 and 1 at Iroquois High School. If you could bring out an extra bag of bulk candy, we would really appreciate it. But it's always such a great time.
Yeah, the kids are just, they're so excited, and the people are just so nice, and they're 10, 15 deep. And it's so cute. We go by a retirement home. When we come out of the high school, we go down the street, and there's a retirement home there. They have all the old folks in their wheelchairs. You walk over, ask if they can have candy, because sometimes they're not allowed. I think I lost Kim. Oh no. Hopefully she'll call back. But anyway, and Kim's got her fundraiser coming up here. I did flash it up on the screen. I'll flash it up again. So yeah, there it is. Mark for July 20th at 2 p.m. Make sure you mark your calendars and come on out. So yeah, if you could throw a video up, please, Brenda.
of New York, you are being gaslit about Zoran Mamdani, and I'm going to tell you why. Zoran Mamdani's entire career has been defined by his hostility toward Israel. He has marched with pro-Hamas protesters. He supports BDS.
I think that what we need to do is ask people, will you support BDS? And frankly, not ask them, but demand that you must do this.
He founded SJP on his campus. He considers himself a democratic socialist and aligns himself with the Democratic Socialists of America. The largest Jewish population outside of Israel is in New York City. The mayor of New York matters. Anti-Semitism is at an all-time high. And you know that anti-Zionism is anti-Semitism, but Zoran Mamdani doesn't. He has consistently chanted that anti-Zionism is not anti-Semitism.
Who is ready to say that anti-Zionism is not anti-Semitism?
But anti-Semitic incidents spiked unbelievably after October 7th. Anti-Zionism is anti-Semitism. An example of this unbelievable gaslighting of Jews is in this opinion piece published by the New York Times today. This author defends Zoran Mamdani's anti-Semitism and then goes on to say that the deadly attacks in DC and Boulder were not anti-Semitic at all, but actually politically motivated. But you as a Jew, you know better. This election matters for the safety of the Jewish community, and Zoran Mamdani may be running for mayor of New York, but Jews everywhere are watching, and we won't be gaslit into forgetting who he is.
Some of the things I've heard that are part of your platform: a rent freeze.
Yep.
200,000 new affordable homes to build.
There we go.
$30 minimum wage by 2030. Free buses. And then city-owned grocery stores. I'm just wondering, because obviously, like, politicians are liars. So...
True.
I ask you one final thing, to join me in a chant. Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free, free Palestine!
Free, free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free, free Palestine!
Free, free, free Palestine!
Free, free, free Palestine!
Thank you so much, brothers and sisters. Eid Mubarak.
This is Zoran Mamdani. He will be the next mayor of New York City come this November, and he is a radical democratic socialist. So essentially with this man in office, you could say goodbye to your local grocery chains and your local bodegas.
It's a rap. Get the guap, spin the rack on your natty. Spin the rack. Come through, give a dab to your natty. If you really feeling good, spin a track for your natty. Go ahead, make a rap for your natty. It's a rap. Get the guap, spin the rack on your natty. Spin the rack. Come through, give a dab to your natty. If you really feeling good, spin a track for your natty.
Well, yeah, I know we can't vote for his opponent, but go to their website, like, share his information. If you got a couple extra bucks, there's some bucks in his way. This stuff has to stop, and it's going to stop now. He says he will not cooperate with ICE. I read an article. If the Prime Minister of Israel steps 1 foot in New York, he will have him arrested. So this is dangerous times, people. And I thought about this. Sometimes I just sit back and go, well, it's New York, man. What do you expect? Let this clown get in there, watch it burn. But then we're the ones going to have to pay and watch this mass exodus out of New York. It's already almost a ghost town. But this is just really, really important stuff. And that's why we tell you 1,000 times about getting out and vote. Get 2 friends to get out and vote, and have them get 2 friends to get out and vote. Because only 9% of the population of New York City voted this guy as the Democrat nominee. Well, Cuomo, there was, I think, 5 Democrats. Cuomo, he did well, but they should have had someone just a little bit sharper and not such a doofus to run up against this guy. But anyway, video, please, Brenda.
Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. The Declaration of Independence proclaims God-given rights, and we intend to protect them. Working with people like you for over 50 years, preserving freedom and building a better tomorrow, safeguarding the Constitution by limiting government power. We are restoring liberties, educating voters, and leading the freedom movement. Join with us. United, we will defend our rights. We are all Americans. We are the John Birch Society.
There you go. Stop by their website, check them out, get on their mailer, get on their email, get their magazines. Great people that are just like Gun Owners of America. They are people fighting the good fight. And, you know, we've won a lot of good battles, and we just got to keep on. Yes, Ms. Shurston had a text in the message here talking about open carry. Open carry is legal in Pennsylvania. Friendly reminder, we did an open carry rally down in Perry Square. The old mayor, Joe, said, if you bring those guns down here, I'll have you arrested. Okay, we knew you can't do that. We got a traffic ticket. We had to go to court. They fined us. We took it to court, appealed it, and we won, just like they did in Philadelphia. So don't tell me that little guys can't fight and win, because we do. NRA helped us out. They sent us a check, helped us with the defense fund to help pay for the attorneys to get this conviction, because they were watching our case very closely, because it shows you the overreach of the city of Erie. That's why it needs to change. I have no hard feeling against Joe. Joe actually is a nice guy. I rode with him on the shore, worked with him when I was on county council. Brenda, video, please.
Carmelo Anthony, the teen accused of fatally stabbing Austin Metcalf, has been indicted for first-degree murder. The incident happened in April at a high school track meet in Frisco, where police say Anthony, a senior at the time, stabbed 17-year-old Metcalf after what has been described as a confrontation. Collin County District Attorney Greg Williams released a video statement following the grand jury indictment. He says his team presented evidence for weeks, and this now formally moves the case into the court system. He also acknowledged the sensitive nature of the case.
We know this case has struck a deep nerve here in Collin County and beyond, and that's understandable. When something like this happens at a school event, it shakes people to the core.
Anthony's legal team provided a swift response, saying news of the indictment was an expected and routine step in the legal process.
It's only in a trial that a jury will hear the full story, one that includes critical facts and context that the grand jury simply didn't get to hear. It's only in a trial that both sides get to present evidence and cross-examine each other's witnesses.
Metcalf's dad, Jeff Metcalf, released a statement. I am pleased that we are moving forward. With the first-degree murder indictment, it now goes into the court system. I fully believe that justice will be served for Austin Metcalf. I look forward to the forthcoming trial, but it will never bring my son back.
Yeah, this is good news. There's no winners. Everyone's a loser in this thing. I think we're all a little offended on how the family immediately went out and did a GoFundMe, new house, new truck, moved out of a good neighborhood because they didn't feel safe. I think someone should look at them getting that money and having it returned, but they've already spent it. So yeah, this is good news going to the grand jury. The grand jury said, yes, we see enough to move this forward. Now, the evidence will show that this was exactly what it is, murder. And it doesn't matter that it's a black kid versus a white kid versus a black kid. It's irrelevant. It's a human being that made a choice to take another human being's life for no reason. He's screaming self-defense because that's the only argument they can use. It's not going to fly. I'm telling you, this kid's going to go to jail for a very long time. That's my prediction. Video, please, Brenda.
So a vice mayor in California accused of calling on gangs to defend their territory against ICE agents. Sources tell Fox Cynthia Gonzalez-Cudahy in Los Angeles County is under federal investigation for allegedly posting this video last week. Watch.
Not for nothing, but I want to know where all the cholos are at in Los Angeles. 18th Street, Florencia. Where's the leadership at? Because you guys are all about territory, and this is 18th Street, and this is Florence, and you guys tag everything up, claiming hood. And now that your hood's being invaded by the biggest gang there is, there ain't a peep out of you. It's everyone else who's not about the gang life that's out there protesting and speaking up. We're out there like fighting our turf, protecting our turf, protecting our people. And like, where you at? Bien calladitos, todos los chulitos. I'm like, dude, they're running amok all up in on your streets and in your city. And Pete, when the big gang guns come in, nothing but like quiet, and we're out here, the regular ones that have never been jumped in, out here calling things out trying to organize people, trying to do the thing. So don't be trying to claim no block, no nothing. If you're not showing up right now, trying to like help out and organize, I don't want to hear a peep out of you once they're gone, trying to claim that this is my block. This was not your block. You weren't even here helping out. So whoever's the leadership over there, just fucking get your members in order.
We reached out to Gonzalez to see if to verify this video, and we have not heard back, but we'll let you know.
Well, here we are, an elected official of the Democrat Party out there publicly putting a video together to promote violence against our federal agents. Yo, where are you? Where are you? How come you people leave? Because they're federal agents, they're ICE, and I bet you there's some immigration issues with some of them. So they're not that stupid where they just said, yo, adios, muchacha. So yeah, this is ridiculous. You know, if you notice, the Democrat Party has quelled their violent rhetoric since Timmy's alleged buddy unlived those poor people for just voting against the Democrats. And we get the finger points, we get the name calling, Nazis, Nazis, Nazis. You know, I swear to God, like we talked about earlier, they sit around, okay, we're just going to bring the staff meeting together. We need a new trigger word. Who's got the new trigger word? Go to the Democrat playbook, open up to page 5, paragraph 2, subsection C3. What's it say? Well, now now we're free Palestine. That's gone kind of to the wayside because now it's against all the ICE officers. And now we're keep your hands off Iran. We just dropped some metal on their place. We didn't put our hands on them. Just saying it was a mostly peaceful bombing. That's like they like to use. Yeah, we're probably see. Any good comments here? Yeah, thank you, Joshua Prince. Absolutely appreciate that. Here's the problem, Kim. You're right. They should be arrested because these people are absolutely inciting to have assistant mayor promoting violence against federal agents. It's just like that little short, chubby guy in Congress. It's well, we're just going to make some legislation where you guys can't wear your mask. Really? Does that mean the bad guys don't have to wear the mask either? And last time I remember, Newscomb and his buddies were trying to pass legislation where law enforcement can't cover their faces, but it was okay during COVID. Hypocrites, and what's the third one? Hypocrites. Brenda, video, please.
Yeah, I do. They violated it, but Israel violated it too. Israel, as soon as we made the deal, they came out and they dropped a load of bombs, the likes of which I've never seen before. The biggest load that we've seen. I'm not happy with Israel. You know, when I say, okay, now you have 12 hours, you don't go out in the first hour and just drop everything you have on them. So I'm not happy with them. I'm not happy with Iran either. But I'm really unhappy if Israel's going out this morning because the one rocket that didn't land, that was shot, perhaps by mistake, that didn't land. I'm not happy about that. You know what? We basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Do you understand that?
Wow. I tell you, you got his you got that hair ruffled when he drops an F-bomb, but how can you argue with it? Nobody wants war, but these countries always seem to be in war. They're always at each other. And what is it about? It's not about money. It's not about property. It's not about oil. It's not. It's over religion. It's the classic fighting over religion. Wait, it's new scum. That that's how the Don says it. It's new scum. But yeah, I get it. So of course everyone's like, "Oh my goodness, he's at the N-word." You know what? He's an adult. If you don't like it, turn off CNN. Have a nice day. Because a lot of the other media stations, they kind of cleaned it up a little bit. The beep beep. But yeah, keeping it real. You're absolutely right. That video of it, please, Brenda.
I want to recognize the pilots who flew those bombers, who flew those fighters, who flew those refuelers, warriors. I want to recognize the sailors on those destroyers, in those subs, on those carriers, warriors, all of them. I want to recognize our soldiers doing air defense, base defense, QRF, warriors, all of them. Every American involved in this operation performed flawlessly.
Yeah. How about we thank the soldiers and the airmen and the sailors? I know Space Force probably wasn't involved too much, but you know what? It goes to show you that the taxpayers were getting good bang for our buck. And it's funny. People are like, "Oh, you know how many veterans we could have fed with that money they spent?" You're absolutely right. But if this stops this shenanigans over there today, and we don't have these shenanigans anymore, this was a drop in the bucket of the money we will save in the future. And look what President Trump went to his NATO meeting, and he got them to. He made a better deal. Y'all need to bring up a little bit more money. You're not paying enough, And here we go. And of course, the media is having an absolute field day with the whole calling him daddy thing. Well, you got to watch the interview and how it actually played itself out. He didn't say, "Oh, hey, Trump, you're my daddy." It was a little more complicated than that. But the media, they basically only pick up only the little nuts and bolts, and then they grab a sound bite and they roll like that. So Brenda, video, please.
Iran, you dropped a bomb on me. Oh, Iran has a nuclear plan.
Said couldn't have a nuke. Oh, yes, we can. If Iran to find out, that's a good plan. America's here. Oh, dumb.
Iran, you dropped a bomb on me.
You gotta love the AI. I know some people will get mad as a hornet, but some of these guys absolutely crack me up. There's a couple guys that are doing Sasquatch AIs. I'm literally sitting there drinking my coffee in the morning, watching these guys, and just absolutely a tear comes to my eye because I'm laughing so hard because there's some of the stuff, and some of it I'd like to play, but they use a lot of profanity, and we try to kind of steer away from that. And we try to keep it clean, and we don't want anybody like, "Oh, Brian's being mean on Facebook," blah 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 blah. And then I get warnings. But yeah, so a lot of moving parts. And again, this thing in New York, we better pay attention to very, very closely. And we really want to talk about it and make sure that we get it right about the 9% turnout rates. Because you think about it, this is how the city of Erie wins. It's not about more Democrats versus Republicans. It's about how many people actually get out and vote. The Democrats struggle with their races also. Obviously, they only had 9% turnout rate in the primary. And I think there was 4 or 5 candidates. I mean, come on, you guys couldn't come up with anybody sharper than Cuomo. They basically ran him out of town with a tow truck. They hated him so much when he was the governor and all his shenanigans. So then I'm going to run for mayor. What? Adams started out really, really rough, and he was just a classic cookie cutter Democrat, with all the immigrants and all the illegals, piling them up, spending millions of dollars to feed them and millions of dollars in the hotels. Then he got in hot water. Something happened. He stepped in some doo-doo, and then he had an epiphany. He saw the light. He left the Democrat Party, became an independent. I don't really know what that was about. If anybody does, man, type it in, call me, because I'm telling you, they got to him and said, listen, you're going to cool your jets. You're going to be a team player, our team, or you're going to jail. I mean, that's what it sounds like. Yeah, they had indictments on him, and they were coming after him. And all his staff quit. All his hotshot deputies quit. I mean, they were dropping like flies. I don't think I think he's an independent. I could be wrong. Kimmy, but I think he's an independent. I think I could be wrong, but hey, I could be wrong. You know me. I just like to skew my facts according to the Erie City folks. But yeah, let's see here. Go down the list here real quick. So yeah, what did we talked about all of this? Oh yeah, we'll throw this up here. A new direction with Matthew Thomas. He's running for mayor in the city of Erie. He is our Republican candidate. Social media is up and running. Good guy. I've talked to him. Very smart, very articulate. He would make a great mayor, but we have to do better. We have to. And that's why we have hashtag, make Erie great again, vote red instead, to kind of just keep pounding and pounding and pounding that we can win these races, but we have to get out and vote. We can't just go, oh, he's a Republican, he has no chance. I get tired of hearing that. He does have an honest chance. Kim has an honest chance. The other three running have an honest chance. It's up to the voters. We are the voters, and we are here to make sure that they get the support and we don't end up with a 9% turnout rate. Just can't make the stuff up, folks. Can't make them up. So I think we're out of videos, right, Brenda?
Correct.
Yeah, that's what I thought, because I see the thing. It's 9:00. It's an hour. I know we've been trying to cut them down a little bit, unless we've got some great topics going on. If we got great discussions in the rooms, we've got people calling in. That's great. We've got some guests that are being lined up to come in. I know Matthew wants to come in. He talked to me, sent me a text. He'd like to come in on the show. He's a very busy guy, running a campaign, running a family. I get that. I talked to our Republican sheriff candidate. He says he wants to come on the show. It's just a scheduling issue. We get that, because it's not like we do the show Monday through Friday. We can bring him any day. We're very selective. It's Karen Jackman's birthday. Well, thanks for sharing that, Brad. Appreciate that. Yeah. So everything's doable. So Brenda, let's see. Anything else I want to talk about? I think that's it. Thanks for coming in. Brenda, roll the outro, please.
If tomorrow all the things were gone, I worked for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife. Thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. Sing it! God bless the USA! From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston, in New York to LA, where there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say, I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free, and I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me, and I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. Proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free, and I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me, and I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the
All right, everybody. Thanks for coming out on this Wednesday night. Hope you have air conditioning because it makes it so much nicer when you're trying to sleep in the cool than you're sitting there sweaty and yucky. I want to say, of course, a special thank you to my lovely wife, Brenda. She helps put the show together. She doesn't help. She does put the show together. I just kind of throw her some cool stuff or give her a direction, and she digs out the best videos because videos are touchy that Restream will accept. So we have to be careful. So thanks for coming out, everybody. I will see you Sunday at 7 p.m. Remember that. Mark your calendars, 7 p.m. That way we can everybody can go out and have fun on Sundays. Everybody, have a safe night. Make sure you stay hydrated. Make sure you drink a lot of water because that'll get you. And like we always say at the end of the show, yeah, I'm saluting you, but you can't see because immigration stuff's up there. Those damn ICE people. Boop. There we go. Shank out.